There are moments in life when the past quietly lingers, shadows of old regrets, memories of missed chances, and the echo of what if. For some, these moments are fleeting. For others, they remain, shaping the way we see ourselves and guiding our every step. For one man, the story of his past was written in the ink of failure, the lines etched with disappointment from a class he once failed, and the unshakable belief that he had let himself, and perhaps someone else, down. But as years slipped by and life moved forward, a single letter arrived, one that would challenge everything he thought he knew and remind him that sometimes the smallest gestures can illuminate the darkest corners of our memory. He remembered the classroom, the smell of chalk, the scuffed linoleum floors, the hum of students whispering before the bell. In that room, as a teenager, he wrestled with equations and essays, struggling to keep up. He tried, but each test seemed harder than the last. His teacher was patient, always encouraging, but the final grade came back as an F. The shame was overwhelming. He left the classroom on that last day, convinced he had disappointed his teacher, his parents, and most of all, himself. Adulthood brought new challenges. The years passed, full of responsibilities, careers, and family. Yet, the memory of that failed class clung to him, a quiet reminder whenever he faced a new challenge. He wondered if he would ever be good enough, if that long-ago teacher remembered him as the student who just couldn't quite make it. Then, one afternoon as the sun dipped behind the trees, the mail arrived. Among bills and advertisements, there was a small envelope. The handwriting on the front was unfamiliar, careful and neat. Curiosity piqued, he opened it. Inside was a single sheet of paper and a note that began, "Dear student." The words on the page blurred for a moment as he blinked away tears. It was from his teacher, the one whose class he had failed all those years ago. The letter explained that the teacher had never forgotten him. In fact, the teacher had kept a list of students who struggled, not as marks of failure, but as reminders of students who taught him the most about perseverance, humility, and growth. "I want you to know," the letter read, "that your efforts in my class never went unnoticed. I saw how hard you tried, and I admired your courage to keep going, even when it was tough. Teaching you reminded me why I chose this profession, and I am grateful for the lessons you gave me. You did not fail, you persevered, and that is the greatest success of all. I hope you have forgiven yourself, as I always believed in you." The man sat quietly for a long time after reading, the letter trembling in his hands. In that moment, the weight of years seemed to lift. It wasn't just a letter, it was a bridge, crossing the distance between past and present, offering forgiveness, closure, and hope. Stories like this are not as rare as we might think. In 2022, a teacher in Los Alamos, New Mexico, inspired her students to write letters of gratitude to the people who had changed their lives. The project, which gained national attention, encouraged hundreds of students to reflect on the teachers, coaches, and mentors who guided them. For many, the act of writing a simple note became a transformative experience, strengthening bonds and fostering a sense of community and gratitude. It was a reminder that even the smallest act, a handwritten letter, a few honest words, can touch someone's life in ways we may never fully understand. During Teacher Appreciation Week in 2023, stories poured in from across the country. Celebrities and everyday people alike shared memories of educators who changed the course of their lives. Again and again, the message was clear. Teachers are more than just instructors. They are mentors, role models, and sometimes the people who see our potential when we cannot see it ourselves. Their influence can ripple out for decades, quietly shaping the people we become. This was certainly true for Caitlin Alaferenka and Martin Gonda, whose story unfolded on opposite sides of the globe. In 1997, a 7th grade assignment in Pennsylvania connected Caitlin with Martin, a student in Zimbabwe. Their pen-pal correspondence grew into a transformative friendship, documented in the memoir, "I Will Always Write Back." Through letters, they exchanged not just stories and dreams, but also hope. Martin's life in Zimbabwe was marked by hardship, but Caitlin's encouragement helped him to persevere. Years later, Martin would achieve his dream of studying in the United States, and Caitlin would pursue a career in education, inspired by the exchange. Their story is a testament to the power of written words and the bonds they create. Letters, whether written by a teacher, a student, or a friend far away, can be lifelines. They remind us of our worth, of the ways in which we matter, even when we doubt ourselves. In a world that moves ever faster, where words are often typed and deleted in an instant, taking the time to write, to really connect, can change a life. The man who received that letter from his former teacher wasn't just given forgiveness. He was given a new perspective on his past. He realized that his struggles hadn't gone unseen. Instead of disappointment, his teacher had felt pride. Instead of forgetting him, his teacher had been grateful for the lessons learned together. The letter didn't erase the failure, but it reframed it as a story not of defeat, but of resilience. Perhaps that is the core lesson for all of us. Our stories are never finished. The chapters we think are closed may be reopened with a single act of kindness. The failures we carry may one day be revealed as the seeds of our greatest growth. And the people we think we have disappointed may, in fact, remember us as the ones who taught them the most. So, if you have ever doubted your worth, if you have ever felt defined by a moment of failure, remember this story. Remember the teacher who never forgot, and the student whose life was changed by a single letter. And if you have ever had the chance to say thank you, to reach out, to write back, take it. You may never know just how much it means. Real life is built on moments of connection, sharp, vivid, and unforgettable. They remind us that we are not alone, that our efforts matter, and that redemption, forgiveness, and hope are always within reach. Sometimes, all it takes is one letter.